Hi, everybody. My name is Tamara Hurl, and I am here to share with you some information about how to rekindle your potential. So, I am the owner and CEO of Become Your Own Guru Coaching. I'm also a premier success coach with eWomen Network. So, I have a question for you. Are you reaching the full potential for yourself and your business? If not, that's probably why you're watching this webinar. And my passion is helping women like you who, you just have the sense that you're capable of more than how you're showing up right now. And so in my work with clients, what I do is help them break through those limiting beliefs and barriers that keep them feeling stuck. Charles Schultz once said that there's no heavier burden than an unfulfilled potential. And in this presentation, we're going to explore why that might be true and what you can do about it if you're not living up to your potential. So let's begin by talking about what potential is. Then we'll talk about what blocks potential. And I'll share with you some ways that I've developed to rekindle your potential, including parts work, art immersion, nature immersion, visual journaling, and energy work. Let's start by talking about what potential is. Potential basically is the achievement of everything that you're capable of. And this includes your ability to work independently and to be creative. And you've achieved your potential when you can be spontaneous in making decisions and interacting with the world. So what are some things that block potential? Basically, limiting beliefs are one of the biggest hurdles to achieving potential. It might show up as a voice inside your head that's telling you, I can't do this, or I'm not smart enough, pretty enough, or I don't know how to do a certain thing. These are the things that can really get in the way of you achieving your big dream. Let's look at some of the things that cause limiting beliefs. They can be showing up as a result of challenges that you've experienced in your life, or maybe trauma that you've experienced. Maybe you went bankrupt, or maybe your parents divorced and it was very traumatic for you because their relationship was volatile. Or maybe you had to take care of, as a young child, you had to take care of a parent who was sick. Another thing basically that can cause limiting beliefs or needs that you have that haven't been met at some point earlier in life. There's a great model for looking at the way that people's needs do and don't get met. And that is a model that was created by Abraham Maslow. He was a psychologist and he developed this theory that about what helps people thrive. He believed that all people are born with the desire to become what he called self-actualized, or what I call reaching your potential. In his work, he noticed that if people hadn't met more of their basic and simple needs, then they weren't able to become self-actualized. Usually this model of his is shown as a pyramid, like you see here in the slide. People's most basic needs are located at the bottom of the pyramid, and their more complex needs, like becoming self-actualized, are at the top. I've modified this model I changed the words self-actualized to potential, and then I actually added another phase at the very top of the pyramid, and this phase I call transcendence, because transcendence is when we've achieved our own potential, but then we're thriving, and so we want to help other people achieve their potential, and also we want to work together with people. Stephen Covey coined a phrase called interdependence, and that's where, it's great when we're independent, but when we're interdependent, we work together with other people, we collaborate. And the cool thing about that is that when we collaborate with other people, then a lot of times together with someone else, we can do more than we could do on our own. So now that we know what potential is, let's talk about how to rekindle potential. There are 5 modalities that I'm going to share with you about how to achieve or rekindle your potential. The first one is parts work. This is a really powerful modality that I absolutely love. I've been using it for about a year, and I've noticed that with this model, this modality, people can really dive down deep to the heart of their limiting beliefs and transform the part of themselves that's generating those beliefs. The way this works is that all of us have parts. So think of it as like a person is like a bus, and inside of them are passengers on the bus. As we experience different things, different parts within us decide to step up and start driving the bus. So if you're wanting to be playful, then you might invite your child part, or your child part might volunteer to come up and drive your bus. But if you were needing to solve a problem, then you might invite, or your creative part might volunteer to come up and drive the bus. So it works great in normal everyday circumstances, but when we have a challenge or a trauma that we encounter, sometimes a part can become overwhelmed, and other parts of the system might decide that they need to lock that part away or put up barriers around that part to keep it safe. And then oftentimes when this happens, one of the parts volunteers to become a protector for the system. So in parts work, what we do is we try to help all these different parts of your system work together and collaborate, because a lot of times the protector parts function in ways that are unhealthy. It's like, this is where, like, when you have limiting beliefs that are popping up, it's probably because a protector part of you has stepped up and is trying to keep another part of you safe. And it's really hard to change these limiting beliefs until you dive down into your system and find out what's going on. Another, excuse me, another modality that's really powerful that I love to use with clients is art immersion. So when you immerse yourself in art, it's great because you get in touch with that creative part of you. And when we experience these challenges, a lot of times the memories are not stored in our thinking mind and thoughts, but they're stored in ways that words can't express. So when we tap into art, it helps us be able to access the parts of, well, for one of the things that's great is it helps us access our intuition, which is very powerful. And then also we can access the wise parts of ourselves that really know what we're fully capable of, because sometimes we forget. One of the processes that I love to use with people during art immersion is to create a life mask. So towards the bottom right of the slide, you can see me with a mask that I created. This is a mask of my potential as a guide, taking people out into the forest and really helping them connect with the consciousness of the more than human world. And the process of creating the mask is so much fun. You actually put plaster on your face. You can see the photos in this slide illustrate what you do. And so you create a model of your face. And when I do these workshops, I'm getting ready to do one soon, we actually work together as a group, and it's a very powerful experience. It's kind of like going into a cocoon, and it gives you time to reflect. And oftentimes when I've made masks in the past, when I was in the cocoon with the mask on my face, letting it harden, I would get images of what wanted to emerge in terms of when I decorated my mask. So this is a very powerful process, and I love sharing it with people. Another process that I really love sharing and that can really help people is nature immersion. Nature immersion is such a powerful process because what you do, what I will help you do and guide you through, and you can do this on your own as well, is to go out into nature and really slow down and open up your senses and then get in touch with the consciousness of the more than human world. This is very powerful because I believe that we have all kinds of support and guidance that we can tap into. All we have to do is just open ourselves to it. And the reason it's important to open up all of our senses is because these forces from the more than human world sometimes don't use words to talk to us. And so we have to be able to use our other senses. We actually have 13 senses. And so when I work with people through nature immersion, I teach them how to do that. Another process that really can help you tap into your potential and rekindle your potential is visual journaling. And this is different than normal journaling because you actually use images. I have people start with images, and I have a lot of different ways that I have people do this. So I usually have people set an intention, like, what is it that you want to know more about? Do you have a problem that you want to solve? And so create an intention, and then I have a variety of different ways that I have people get in touch with that creative part of themselves again. If you look at the image on the bottom of this slide, you can see that with this image, I just started with a curved line that went down and kind of divided the paper into a couple of different sections. Then I added colors and shapes, and then I just started choosing random magazine images. And finally, I started adding words. And then to complete the process, I have people think about their original intention and then look at the image that they created, and how does the images that they chose, the colors, the shapes, the words that they wrote, how does that relate to the original intention? So that's visual journaling. It's an amazing and powerful process that I really love sharing with people. So insightful, so helpful. The other technique that I love to work to use with people is energy work. A lot of different ways of doing this. Sometimes I have these amazing tools they're from biogenesis, and they really help to remove blocks that happen at the subconscious level or even in the body, because a lot of times blocks are not just caused by limiting beliefs, but we have, just think about it. When you experience a trauma or when you get really angry at somebody, it doesn't just happen in your head, you can feel it in your body. And sometimes the energy of that anger or that trauma gets stuck and it's held in your body. And so there are different techniques. Sometimes I have people visualize, what does the energy of the anger or the trauma look like? And then do some breath work and just imagine that, excuse me, to help that energy and that block dissolve. Sometimes I have people use practices like walking a labyrinth. I have finger labyrinths that I share with people, or when people come to work with me in person, I have a beautiful labyrinth that's on our property. So energy work is a wonderful tool. You probably know how to do that on your own, but I love supporting people that want to do this as with a partner or with a group. And so it's really an amazing tool to help you rekindle your potential. So in summary, these are some of the things, think about what potential means to you. Think about what it is that blocks your potential. Get really clear about it. Spend some time thinking about that. And then try some of the processes that I've recommended, including parts work, immersing yourself in nature and art, and also doing some energy work and doing some visual journaling. They're great tools that can really help you break through your blocks to potential. And this is so crucial right now because there are so many things about the world that are broken right now, our education system, the hospitals, the nurses and doctors. Think about what these people are having to do because of the way things are. Therapists having to see 8 clients a day. It's just not realistic. It's not in the best interest of the workers or the people that are receiving the services. This is my passion. I would love to help support you in breaking through the blocks to your potential. I have a wonderful 5-day challenge that I would love to invite you to take part in. So please feel free to reach out to me. My Facebook page is Become Your Own Guru Coaching. So let me know if you would like to take this 5-day challenge so that you can break through your blocks to potential. I would love to support you. Thank you so much for listening today. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. I'm happy to answer.